listening to The Bob Dean Show, only on LA Talk Radio.
Hey, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. This is Bob Dean, The Bob Dean Show. Yay! Coming to you from finally sunny Southern California. The last, several days, weeks have just torrential rains, which, Southern California isn't used to. For everybody else, it is like snowstorms or 5 feet of snow everywhere else. Anyway, we're working on that. I got a cat cleaning himself in the background there because, and if you've noticed my new hair, we'll talk about that later. Guest today, Michael Sandoval, our correspondent from Pattaya, Thailand. Michael, hello, welcome.
Hey,
can you hear me, Michael?
Bob? I can hear you, Bob.
Now that I'm seeing you, I'm doing great.
Well,
how you been?
It's great to see you. It's great to be back on the show. We haven't been on the show, haven't done the show together in a while, and it's just great to see you and be part of the Bob Dean Show once again, and especially with your cat in the background there.
Who happens to be cleaning himself.
He's taking a bath, and that's just very appropriate for the Bob Dean Show.
Well, and of course, with my background too, my new bookcases that came from the alley in Beverly Hills, but I'll tell you about that later. Let's look at your hair.
Hey, how do you like
Shave
it?
the sides.
It's
You look
nice,
friggin'
huh?
awesome.
Yeah,
You look
looks
awesome,
nice,
Mike.
I think. Well, thank you, Bob. You look good too. I like
have a
what
call.
you got
Hold
going
on,
on.
Mike, we have a call in. Who's
Hey.
hello, caller? Who might this be?
I'm a calling.
Well, who is it?
Hello?
Hello.
Hello,
Yes.
caller.
Who are we speaking with? Hello?
Oh, did we lose the caller?
Well, I put the number up on social media, so it could have been one of our other fans, Mike,
Oh, the other fan? The other fan?
Okay. Listen, whoever the caller, thank you so much. I don't know. It sounded kind of like Lee Cirillo. I don't know. Maybe Cindy Bell. But we're having some technical difficulties, guys. I guess it's because of the rain. It's nothing on your end, caller. Unfortunately, I didn't pay the bill. I don't know.
Thanks for trying, caller.
Honest to God, thank you for trying, and give it a try later. But thank you, Sam.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, before we go any further, I want to say congratulations to Sam Hessen of LA Talk, the man at LA Talk Radio, on 16 years broadcasting from gracious and growing Sherman Oaks area.
Congratulations.
Los Angeles. But thank you, Sam, for having me be a part of your organization. I appreciate it very much, and happy anniversary. Yay. Now, Michael, back to you. I'll just give a little background for those who are tuning in today that haven't seen you on the show before. Michael and I do stand-up, or we have done stand-up quite a bit in the past. That's how we met, through the LA School of Comedy, Sunda Kronquist, the LA School of Comedy at 10835 Santa Monica Boulevard in beautiful, graciously growing Westwood. Between Beverly Hills and Santa Monica. Hey, Sunda, how are you? Oh, and a shout out real quick to Kathy St. George, our co-hostess, and Linda B. Schneider in Pittsburgh, has been filling in as well. But Kathy,
Linda,
we wish you a speedy recovery. Kathy's had she's down in Palm Beach, and she's had some issues, but she's going to be fine, and we miss you.
Get well soon.
Yay. And kiss Maybelline on the lips for me. Maybelline's her dog. All right. Now, and Michael and I did stand up together. He's a Los Angeles native. I thought about that too, Mike, is that, and not to go back to what we were talking about, the marked safe in the rain, but I was thinking while I was in the shower that, you're an LA native and your family is from here. So that would, you would understand the situation with the rain. And
I understand. I completely understand the situation with rain. But just when, looking at the big picture, rain is not really an emergency situation. But flooding is, and mudslides are, and I get it. And it doesn't need to be this. I know you're not, but it doesn't need to be this debate about whether rain is, what rain is, and all of that. It was just a funny joke. I made a joke, and other people have made the same joke about Californians, rain freaks them out, and they got to mark themselves safe from
You know,
rain. Okay, and it's just
listen. I know I took it.
usually you just carry an umbrella and everything's okay, but in California and LA, you gotta go online. You gotta mark yourself safe from the rain. Okay, and it's just
Well,
and it's
I
just being
pressed it
silly
because I've
and
never
funny.
had to
Okay.
mark myself safe from anything, and I just wanted to be part of the cool club.
Well, I'm in all honesty, and I get it because in LA we don't have, or you don't have storms, big storms all the time. It's just not it doesn't happen all the time. You can go years and not have a big storm. So I
Yeah,
can
precisely.
understand people could freak out over, there's a big storm. My daughter, I I was here and I'm like, oh my God, there's this big storm in LA, and my daughter's there, and she lives near the river, and they were talking about the river was flooding. It was more water than it's ever had, and I I didn't reach her. I couldn't reach her for a couple of days because she was working and sleeping and whatever. It was not a big deal. But in my mind, I'm like, oh my God, I hope she's safe. I hope she's safe from the rain. Only because of all the hype.
See,
I knew she was
exactly,
safe. I knew
exactly.
she was safe. I knew she was safe, but because
And
of all the hype, I started to worry. Like,
the rest of the nation or the world hears more. It's more dramatized than we hear. Here. I mean, it's bad enough what the our news agencies broadcast out here, but that's why everybody's calling me, going, "Oh my God, I hope you're okay. I hope you're okay." And I'm like, well, same thing with the fires. I'm
my
good.
shoes are a little wet, but
And I just washed the damn car. But I was telling my friends out of California that you have to put in perspective that like Los Angeles County is like the size of Rhode Island. And so the people that are affected so tragically with the mudslides and all, have homes in the hills and such. So God bless them all.
yes,
Let me.
I'm not making light of anyone's
Of course
tragedy.
not.
I'm
Well, let me tell you
not making-
this. I forgot all about this until like 10 days ago or so. I put a video. I just started. Well, I have like 5 videos on TikTok. All right. It's like the only reason why it's a long story why I just decided I wanted to do this. Right. And 5 videos. I put up a video. I work at the Mosaic Hotel in Beverly Hills, 125 South Spalding. Please come in and have a cocktail with me. And the pool in back is lovely, and there are fruit trees in Southern California, lemons, limes, etc. So this is back when a few days ago when the rest of the United States was under ice or snow. So I made this video. You know how I do those stupid videos, Bob Dean moments, and I'm walking around. It's probably a 15-second video. You can see it on TikTok, ladies and gentlemen. Where I'm like, hey, it's me, Bob Dean, coming to you from Beverly Hills, California, where the rest of the nation is friggin' freezing, and here I am, and I yanked 2 lemons, and I'm strolling. I go, and I'm making cocktails with fresh lemons. Have a nice day. That was it, right? I get these hate comments from people all over the world, and they're all spelled incorrectly, the punctuation and all that sort of thing, and that they're using you instead of spelling, and they're like, you would believe, Mike, you need to go and check it out. Some of the things that people said, and I was just laughing. I'm like, oh my God, I thought I had nothing better to do.
Like,
once a month, I get on Facebook and tell everybody what their problem is after 3 martinis, and I still have a half a pack of cigarettes.
well, it's some people don't realize that we crack jokes for a living, and
It's
but
comedy, baby.
They'll get it one day. One day they'll get it. They'll go, oh yeah, that's that guy that was making those comments. He's
Well, speaking of
comedian.
comedy, is first of all, I follow your posts vicariously, and I am so friggin' happy and proud of you. You are just killing it in Pattaya in the comedy scene, and it looks like you're just having the time of your life. And the people that you're posting with, everybody looks like they're having just such a blast. So I'm really, I honestly, I'm very happy for you, man.
Well, I am having a great time, and you got to come out here and you got to check it out, Bob, because you would be having a great time too out here. It's just so much fun. I've met some great people. I met this one guy. He's a great guy. I just met him in a couple bars. He makes the rounds, and he's got a Facebook page where he promotes a lot of different things going on in here in Thailand. And so I met him in a bar a couple times, and he started doing this radio show. And I was like, "Oh, you're doing a radio show," and he's got no entertainment experience or anything like that. He's just, I don't know, he knew the guy, and he started doing this. So I kind of, like we do, Bob, you know how we are, right? I kind of pushed my way in. I said, "Hey, you should have me on as a guest," you know. And I don't even know this guy, but I just met him a few times. But I said, "Hey, he's an American guy." I said, "Hey, you should have me on the show. I'm in this improv group doing comedy. That's another story." But I told the guy, I said, "You should have me on your show, and I'll talk about the show we're gonna do." He's like, "Great, come in the studio." I came in the studio and was on his show, and the guy that runs the station he engineers the show. And so he was in there, and so he was engineering the show. And then when the show was over, he said, "Hey, Mike, you interested in doing a show on the station?" And I said, "Absolutely, I'm interested in doing a show." I mean, I didn't want to tell him that's the whole reason why
that you
I
shook
weaseled my way. Yeah, but that was the whole reason why I weaseled my way. But he said, "You want to do a show?" I said, "Absolutely, I want to do a show. I want to do whatever." So it's a full radio show. We play music. He has a license. It's a station. It's a radio station. So we play music. Regular
Well, I've checked it out. Mike's Madhouse.
music. Mike's Madhouse. So I said, I'm not a DJ yet, but you put me in front of a microphone and camera or whatever, and away I go. So I said, I'll play some music, and I want to talk. I want to talk. I want to tell my stories. I want to tell my jokes. I want to, do crazy things. I want to, kind of like the old time DJs. Like Wolfman Jack or whatever. But I want to be me. I want to do whatever I want to do.
You're going to kill it. I know you well enough in your personality and your sharp wit.
So I'm having a ball. I'm doing that, and I'm having a blast. And I think about you a lot, Bob. I think because we talked about before I moved here, and I've been on the show before, and we talked about Thailand, and that was, how long ago was that? I had just gotten here.
So
It hasn't
been a year, has it?
It hasn't been a year, but it's been at least 6 months.
Yes.
We've done the show, right? It's been about at least 6 months. So I've traveled around. I've done a lot. I'm doing this radio show now, and
well, that's what I'm saying about I follow because you post a lot, and I think that's brilliant. They're quick and precise, and there's so much activity with the clubs and improv and stand up, and now you're Mike's Madhouse. Mike's Madhouse.
Well,
that's on
thank you.
BKK1radio.com, correct?
BKK1radio.com, and the great thing about it is all the shows are archived. So we've got about maybe 10 DJs on right now, and we all have our own shows, different time slots, according to whatever they're doing, and so all the shows are archived. So if you can't listen live, you can go to the webpage and you can just click on a show, and you can hear that show. You can replay that show, and it's just so much fun putting the show together, picking out the music. Planning out the show, and I'm just having a ball doing that. And the comedy, I was doing improv comedy. I joined an improv group, and I don't. Have you ever done improv comedy?
I did. As a matter of fact, I when I first moved to Los Angeles, I went through the Groundlings.
The Groundlings, okay.
Yes.
Well, I made friends with a guy that worked at that was at the Groundlings. When was that you were there?
This was 2000. Yes, I know it was before some of you were born, so shut up. 2005. Okay. And I started with the Groundlings, and I went through A-B workshops, and then you graduate into the third one, like Intro to Something or whatever. and then you audition to. Oh, excuse me, I was doing workshops A and B, but you had to audition to get into the next phase, and yeah, so I went and did the 3 sessions. I can't remember what they were called, but yeah, it was very interesting. Go ahead.
Three sessions. That's what I did, but I did it at Second City
Second City, fabulous.
in Hollywood, and it sounds like we had a similar career in improv. I did three classes, improv 1, 2, and 3, and then the next one was working on your own show, and then you have to audition and create your own show. And so after the third one, I went another direction. I went into sketch writing, television writing. So I spent I took that class, and then I left Second City because I was doing stand up with you and at School of Comedy.
LA School of Comedy, 10835 Santa Monica Boulevard.
So although I did the training at the Second City, I never actually got to do any improv on stage in LA. And just by chance here, I met some guys. One guy did he was at the Groundlings, but he was there, I guess, in the late 80s, early 90s, maybe, when he was at the Groundlings, and he did a lot of years there. So he's got a lot of improv experience. So he's got an improv group here. What? And who knew? That's awesome. You know? And he's a really funny guy. His name is Sheldon, and he's just a really funny guy. And
well,
he's retired. He's a retired guy. All the guys in the group are funny, but I left the group. I'm not doing that anymore. So I'm focusing strictly on the radio show right now.
Mike's Madhouse.
So Mike's Madhouse, Tuesdays at 1 p.m. I got Crazy Talk and Classic Rock on live on the radio right out of Bangkok. And I do the wacky requests. I do the dedications. I do the shout outs. We do it all. So
I'm going to be calling in with wacky shout out requests.
Absolutely.
One night in Bangkok makes a hard man humble.
Do some requests, and I got a contest coming up where if you make a request, we're gonna put your name in a bucket thing, and we're gonna pull every week. We're gonna pull a name out, and you're gonna win Mike Sandoval. It's Mike Sandoval T-shirt that I brought from LA to Thailand. So these are collector's items. Can't get them anywhere.
I get up and reach for it, but the last show that I did with Lid, I got up to reach for my hip bone. But the It's Mike Sandoval Black limited edition 2 hats. So you gave one for me and one for Dennis. It's on display.
It's on display, and we're going to be giving those away.
I took it. I took one. I had one, and you gave one to me and one to Dennis. And I picked up. I don't know. I was crunching the I think I'm going to okay. The bill, and Dennis was like, he got pissed. He's like, you know what? That was supposed to be for Mike because he's going to be big, and that was supposed to be like you're not supposed to touch it. We're supposed to put it behind glass. And I was like, I'm sorry, but yeah, it's right over there. It's a very cool hat too.
Well, Dennis is right because with this radio show, I really plan on putting everything in to this show and really making a great a show. I mean, like a
natural Sandoval.
We want to do some sketches on air. We want to do. I'm working on bringing in some of the live acts that perform here in Pattaya that are really good. I'm going to have them come in the studio and perform live. So I have a lot of things planned. I want to make it a really fun Madhouse type place. Of course, that's what else would it be if you give me a show? You give me a show, and it's going to be crazy.
The white Mexican.
And I gotta have you come on, Bob. I gotta have you do something, and then I can and you can send it to me. And you can be my LA guy, like I'm your Thailand guy.
Exactly.
You can be my LA guy.
Los Angeles.
and you can do some interviews or something, and you can send me the clip, and I can say, and now Bob Dean in LA, here's Bob's moment, and I'll play your little rant or whatever it is that you want to do.
I got a million. Hey,
You know
that's
what I'm saying?
great. Thank you very much. That'd be
Absolutely,
fun.
Bob. Absolutely. It'll be a lot of fun. I'm telling you. And then when you come out here, because you got to come out here,
I know.
you and Dennis got to come out here. When you come out here, you come on the show. I'm going to take you around. I'm going to show. Hey, you know what I did, Bob?
Tell me.
My girlfriend wanted to go to a Ladyboy show.
Well, now explain for our audience of the Bob Dean Show. Yay.
Yeah.
What a ladyboy is.
Well, a Ladyboy is like a transgender, right? It's it's a lady with something extra downstairs. Is basically what it is. Because here they're very beautiful, and they are. Some of them are really stunning, and you don't know. You can't tell. They look just anyway. So, but there's an area right close by where I stay that's kind of like it's like a little gay ladyboy little area, right? So all like cabarets where they do the shows. They have like
like drag shows.
the drag shows and the whole, and they have it's all. And my girlfriend and I, we've been through there a couple times because that's where we do the improv show in one of the little shows where they have theaters where they have a stage. And so she's been wanting to go because she looks and she's like, look at these guys, these ladyboys are beautiful. She's like, oh my God, look at these beautiful. You know what she told me? She said, Thailand ladyboys are very beautiful, but your American ladyboys. He said they're not so beautiful because there are.
You know what?
There
Next
are
thing
some
you-
here.
We're gonna have all kinds. I'm gonna have all kinds of people because everybody's so damn touchy anymore around here. They're having.
I was in this. We're in this theater. We're in this cabaret theater, and they got the guy dancers. Like the almost naked guy dancers, but then they got the ladyboy who's like the star, and she's like Lady Gaga, or whatever. They have like 3 or 4 that come out and they rotate. They sing a song, and they do their little act, and then another one comes out, and it was really entertaining. I was just sitting there having a great time, and my girlfriend's having a great time, and I look out at the theater, the audience, and it's like all retired guys. It's all these retired guys. All just having a great time, sitting there drinking, and just having a great time. And I was like, it's just such a different world here, where everything's just happening and everyone's having fun, and there's no like hang-ups. It's different than in LA, even though there's West Hollywood and there's areas and things. It's just a different world here that
Everybody just meshes without question.
It's just such
Yeah,
an open feeling.
Pretty much what you mean.
It's just an open, like, I don't want to say like everything goes, but I mean, it's just I saw one guy put it more like they put more adult responsibility on you as the adult, rather than like in the West, it's like you're not trusted to make adult decisions. We have laws and regulations and everything to keep us in line and keep everything regimented. Where it seems like here in Asia, in this part of the world, it's like there's more openness. Where it's up to you to use your head and don't mess up. Like with traffic here is just we according to U.S. standards, the traffic here is very chaotic and just crazy and wacky. But then you start to understand, well, but they know how to use it. It's not crazy and wacky and chaotic to them because they understand how the traffic flows and how to. But we look at it and go, oh my God, I can't even cross the street. It's like crossing the street is like a death wish. Sometimes that's how we look at it, like, because it's more like you have to figure out when it's okay to cross the street. It's up to you, the pedestrian. You got to figure it out. Not like, they don't have like lights and walk, don't walk and crosswalk. I mean, they do. They do have those. But it's more like it's on you to figure it out. Like even if it's because I'm gonna tell you, traffic lights and signals and that's all just a suggestion here. Those are just suggestions. Traffic lights and stop signs. That seems to be like more like.
But at the same time, though, you got what, like 75% less cars. It's scooters and bikes, right?
Oh my God! It's a total scooter.
Because you get hit by a
society.
scooter, if you hit by a scooter, you might break a leg. But if you get hit by a Buick, it's a lot worse.
Well, you're on a scooter and you get hit by one of these trucks or something, But I'll tell you my scooter story. Okay, I'll tell you my scooter story because it is a different world here. When I was in LA, I was afraid of motorcycles. I was on the back of a motorcycle. I fell off of it. I got thrown off the back of it.
Same thing with me years ago when I was a kid, but terrified of them. Go ahead.
Terrified of bikes. Never got back on a bike. And this is when I was like 20, 25, 24. And I never got back on a bike. And I get here. And this is like the total motor, scooter, bike world. It's the world of motorbikes here. So I was driving around on a motorbike. I bought her a new bike because her old one I didn't want to get on the old one.
You talked about that the last time on the show when you guys went on that.
Right. So I got the new bike. And riding around, I'm feeling good on the bike now. I'm like, hey, everything's good. I'm riding around like I live here because I do. So total different perception. Except, so this has happened since last time I talked to you. We fell over. We didn't get into an accident, but we came to she hit some sand and lost the balance while we were stopped, and we just fell over.
I'm sorry, but when that happens, I'm glad but you guys are okay, right?
Yeah, we were okay. Well, I'll tell you,
it's so comical when something you just go clunk.
Right, it's like the guy on the tricycle on laughing. We just we fell over. But it's not a tricycle. This is a friggin' half a ton bike that's fell over, and so I banged up my finger really bad, and a couple bruises, but my finger was really smashed up. It was really smashed up, and so I was a little skittish about the bike. I was a little skittish. Then the next couple weeks after that, it was raining, and we were parking the bike, and again she hit like a little greasy area, and the same thing happened. We just went boop. We just fell over like that, and it was like
something about Asian women drivers, but we can't say that anymore.
No, we can't say that. So it was like twice in like a month or so, and that freaked me out. All of a sudden, I had this fear of bikes again. I didn't want to get on the bike. I was like, I don't want to go. And then we took a trip, and we're driving around, and the car, and now everything is scaring me. Everything is scaring me now because we had the two little fallovers, and I got banged up. I got banged up pretty good, and blood and everything. I got banged up pretty good, and so now I'm scared. Now I'm scared of bikes. I'm like, I don't want to get back on. I don't want to go. I don't want to.
Yeah, how big is this bike though? You said like a half a ton. I mean,
well, not a half a ton, but the thing is heavy. It's like a big Vespa type.
Yeah, so it's bigger than a Vespa. I'm picturing a Vespa or a small Honda or something like that.
But it's bigger than a Vespa, but it's like a Vespa style scooter, but it's big. It's bigger than a little, because they have all the different sizes here. They got the little Vespa thing, the little and they keep getting bigger until they got the full size.
Sure, it's like a Caprice Classic versus a Malibu versus a Vega. And I know that half the audience doesn't even know what the hell I'm talking about.
They don't know what we're talking about because America is not a motorbike society the way it is here. I mean, you see everything on bikes here. You see old ladies on bikes. You see old monks on bikes. You see little kids. You see like four little kids on a scooter. a dog standing on the back. You see,
Probably because there's probably not as many lawyers over there as there are here, so everything's not litigated. So
well,
it's like
and
live and let live and have fun.
and I think that's another thing. I think the laws are different, so that like it is personal responsibility. It's not like
Yeah,
it's not like you're gonna sue over every. You can't sue over every little thing. You know,
Thank
like
you.
in America, if you trip over the broken concrete, you sue the city. But here, I don't think that flies. I think they're like, no,
you
you
should. It's like
you should have
term,
seen that. You
it's
should
like
have
me
seen the
being a
crap.
bartender for so many years. The term overserved just pisses me off. It's the same thing. Personal responsibility. You know, I have responsibility to take care of my customer, but you know, they have responsibility if they know they're starting to, you know, and it's the same thing. You know, if they trip over the curb, they should have been looking. Well, I mean, you know,
Yeah.
accidents happen. Accidents happen. You know, like when I fell before, but the whole litigious society here is crazy. So it's nice. See, I can ride that scooter in my Speedo with my little wicker hat, you know,
Oh,
and just fit
yeah.
right in.
I see these guys doing it here. I see them. I see them doing it, and it's great. I really had fun at the cabaret, looking around and seeing these, you know, older people, older retired guys out there having fun, and just everyone is just like, and it's a whole neighborhood. It's a whole like maybe block-sized neighborhood of just all bars and cabarets and ladyboys and massage parlors and just it's just all this great little
Yeah,
area.
which now we used to have areas like that in every city, but they've all been cleaned up. And now what's there? Stupid clubs and bars owned by people like Kid Rock.
Yeah, but they were these places aren't seedy though.
No,
You know, this,
I go ahead. Yeah, I beg your pardon. I should.
you know what I mean? Like in America though, that kind of areas and venues tend to be seedier.
Edie,
Where this seedy kind of, you know, like, you
the
know,
club thing, it's just when you threw in massage parlor, I guess is where I should have thought before I spoke. But so it's a classy massage parlors,
there's like,
no happy
yes.
endings.
Well, they have those too, like, but they have like regular like massage is like going to the doctor here. Like if you don't feel good, you go get a massage. Your back hurts, you go
It
get a
works.
massage.
It helps. Big
You know, if you
time.
have a headache, you go get a massage. Everything is a massage. So their massage parlors are everywhere, and there's guys getting like a real massage. You know, like
Yeah,
work out
yeah,
this
it's
cramp.
completely therapeutic, and
But
you know it's great for everything.
so
You said it's
so those are
that thought.
those are
Well,
everywhere.
that thought, ladies and gentlemen that are trying to call in, I'm sorry we've had some tech difficulties. Thanks for the thought. We're not ignoring you, but we're having some tech difficulties. So thanks for trying to call in. And back to you,
Oh,
Mike. You were saying about
we
massage
really
parlors.
want to talk to the viewers out there with their questions and
Yes,
their comments. I know we really want that. We really want that. So we apologize that we're not able to accommodate you there. But the area here is it's more like a Vegas feel. It's not like like the dirty part of town or the green. None of it. Even the really adulty, you know, like the most adultish areas are still not. They're still like, oh, nice. They're not like. It's
I
not like you don't feel
understand.
like you don't feel like you're going down the dark, dirty alley or something. It's just you
And
know.
hoping that when you leave, that you don't see your boss or your neighbor or your mom.
Yeah, I know that feeling, but yeah, no, that's the only thing here is you don't want to see your girlfriend or you come out and see your girlfriend and coming by or one of her 25 girlfriends, one of her 25 girlfriends. So
That's when you get a hat like this.
you get a
You'll
hat with
recognize it.
hair, or you dye your hair a different color.
You look friggin' awesome, man. And not that you look bad before, but you know, you look maybe it's the filter or whatever, but you look 20 years younger.
Well,
And I mean that with the highest form of flattery. And you know,
well, thank you. You look good too. I like the hair on top. You look like you. when you put that on, you look like you're ready to go play tennis, though.
Exactly. I was going to say, sort of like
You need a racket. You need a racket, and you would have everybody fold.
or sort of like Bruce Jenner if I was in track, you know.
You
Oh
know,
wait,
like you,
not whoever he is now.
that guy. That's what.
I miss you, man.
Oh man, I'm telling you, you got to come out and you you're gonna have a great time. There's so much. It's kind of like Vegas here. You know, there's like everything you can do in Vegas except for the gambling. Everything you can do in Vegas, they got here. You know, nice restaurants. They got entertainment. You got bars where you can just go hang out, have a drink, and just socialize. And of course, there's the gay neighborhood where I went, which is like a whole nother world because I had never really gone in there and like hung out in the cabaret. I mean, it's just not something that I, would have thought to do. But my girlfriend was like, well, actually, when I was there with my improv buddies, we were walking around in there because there's like cannabis shops and there's restaurants and food stalls. It's all mixed together, right? So we're walking around in there, and I noticed one of the guys was like, he just was just staring at the show. These ladyboy dancers, the drag show, and he was just like mesmerized, right? It's like, yeah, and I know he's got a girlfriend and married, so I was just like, but he was just like, and now that I went, I know what he was. It's mesmerizing. It's like it's just like.
It's
wow,
captivating.
It's captivating. It really is, and I can't wait to go back and see it because they were really putting on this whole show. With costumes and choreography. On this little stage, but it was like costumes and choreography, and the one I figured it out. It took me a minute to figure it out, but the one was like Lady Gaga, and then there was one that was like she was like Cher, and then there was one that was.
Have you ever been to a drag show?
No, not like this. I'd never. Are you crazy? In LA, would I go and have my mom find out, or
hello,
one of my friends in LA? No, but here it's just like I was like, yeah, let's go. I want to go check this out. I want to see what's so mesmerizing. And
listen,
and
I was at a bar in Nashville, Tennessee, and I was going to the men's room, and it was one of the one holers in this big club. And I opened the door; it wasn't locked, and there was a lady boy, drag queen, whatever, in a mini skirt and fishnets, and the gal was probably 6.5 feet tall, and she was trying to pull down her mini skirt, and it was, I swear to God, it had to be an entire roll of black and electrical tape around her. I was like, first I was like, ah, and then I was like, I always wondered how you contoured the.
The one girl that I guess she's like the star of this thing. I call them girls. It's a girl. It's a guy, but it's a girl. The girl, and he was wearing this like leotard thing, and my girlfriend was saying, "Oh, she's in her broken English. She's saying she's cut. She's post-op. It's been removed." And I was like, "No, I don't think so." I was like, "I think I don't think
it's just really small."
I go, it's tucked away. It's put away.
With black electrical tape.
With whatever, I don't know, with whatever they do, however they do it. But I said, she's like, no, she's cut. I said, no, because that would defeat the whole purpose of the whole thing. Is that
you have so much to learn, Mike.
You need
to do a segment on your show on the Mike's Madness about is she or isn't she? Because you couldn't do that here now because everybody would be like, eh. But because I think it's friggin' hilarious, man. Is she or isn't she? You be the judge.
Well, that could be, yeah.
On South Beach, there was the Cameo Theater. I had lived there for so many years, but it was so much fun back in the early '90s, late '80s. The Cameo Theater uh, had it was a huge old theater that they just took the seats out of the bottom, and they had it was a dance club, but it was freaking awesome. And I can't remember what night of the week it was, but it was the gay night, the boys' night, and I was tripping my ass off. Yes, I'll say it, on real ecstasy, not this crap you kids are doing today, with a buddy of mine. And we go in, and it wasn't very crowded, but at that time, I don't know if they still are because I don't get to clubs, but these guys had like this troupe they had these giant ornate fans, and they did these routines, like ding, 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 except it was just dudes in jeans, but they were talented and very good. And they were like, but they do these fan dances, right? To the disco music. And I ran outside, I jumped in a cab, and the cab took me to my apartment, which was like a block away, ran into the bedroom, picked up my old square plastic box fan with all the dust in it, and jetted back to the club, ran out on the dance floor with all the guys going, "Nin, nin, nin," and I joined their line with my box fan. Get it? They're all like with their fans. And I was twirling it around, the cords hitting people. And fortunately, the manager who I knew, he's like, "Bob, take your fan and get the hell out of here." I was like, I'm a nickel for every time somebody told me that.
Destined for improv comedy. There you go. Right? It's like,
now you're going to continue with, I know you're concentrating on Mike's Madness. Yay.
yeah.
But are you still going to keep your toe in the water of improv and stand up and that sort of thing?
Well, right now I'm not dealing with the improv group right now. I'm like, we got some differences, let's just say, some creative differences.
Understood. Because I was going to say, I don't know if we want to talk about this on air, because I don't know what your experience was, but can I be frank with you about mine?
Yes, you can, absolutely.
And I'm not dogging anyone. My experience at the Groundlings was, in the 3 classes that I took, very expensive classes, by the way, that so many people, but a lot of people in my classes, seemed to be like they were trying so hard to be funny, and yes and. But when it came to, they're like 70% of the people in my classes, they were just their personality was so strong that it kind of sucked the fun. And me, man, I'll say anything to anybody, anytime, anywhere. I have no problem, and I know when to stop, or try to, and but yeah. So when I auditioned, you had to audition to get into the 3rd level. And I just kind of stood there, and the girl comes up with her little clipboard, and she goes, "I'm sorry." No, excuse me. It was for the 4th one, because I said, she goes, "I'm sorry, but you just weren't, fine." And I go, "Listen, I wish I had a cigarette." I was like, "Listen, Toots, I already did 1, 2, and intro." And she was like, "Yeah." And she goes, and I was like, "Yeah." I was just bored with everybody. But yeah, I just felt like there was too much. Nobody, at any rate, it wasn't fun for me.
It wasn't fun for you to play
But
the games.
But doing improv is a blast. It's a blast, And I'm sorry, I'm not dogging the Groundlings. It was my own personal, because some of my favorite people, the favorite comedians, and Cassandra Peterson, Elvira, Groundling, Paul Rubens, Pee Wee, God rest his soul.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I agree with you, but I think of it that the most of the improv actors that I was working with at Second City that I came in contact with, they seem to be more interested in the acting than the comedy, and that's just my
I think that's what I'm trying to say, Michael. I think that's what I'm trying to say. They were more interested. I get it. They were more interested in dramatics, in the interaction, instead of really going for the fun, the comedy in it.
Yeah, I feel like they were using improv in Second City as learning improv comedy as just to have another tool in their tool belt. Like, I've done improv, like, but their main focus was more like acting, like getting an acting role, like not so much being a comedian or being funny, but more like, this is going to help me in my acting career. And then there was a few people in there like me in my class. There was like a hand out of the 10 or 12 people in the class. there was a handful of us, maybe 3 or 4 of us that were really like funny, that were like, we would say funny lines, we would do more on a comedy level than just on an acting level. And so I kind of, I don't know, I think I kind of feel like improv comedy, Second City, Groundlings, whatever, should lead you somewhere. That's not, improv is not, you don't become an improv actor. Like, I'm an improv actor. It's like, no, you become something else, and improv gets you there. Either
Right.
improv
You
gets you
improvise
there.
into your career.
It gets you into it's gonna help you, whatever you're gonna do. So,
Yeah,
but
absolutely. It definitely helped. It definitely helped me. Absolutely.
I feel like some people, they take it too seriously, like their improv,
That's what I was trying to say. They were taking
it's
it
like
way too
this
seriously.
becomes pretentious and like, oh,
And
you're
that sucked the fun out of it for me. Exactly.
like it's Shakespeare, or it's some you know and when it gets to that, I just go, you know what, it's not fun anymore. If
That's precisely what I was trying to say, Mike. Exactly. It's like when I did this
it's
play on South Beach called Oogies, and and we'll talk about it the next time we're on. But it was this play, and it was my first time back. And Tomato Duplanty, if you guys don't know who he is, Google him. The most wonderful guy in the world. God rest his soul. It's this theater group, Art Act Theater, on Espanola Way. JC Carroll, hi JC, Colleen, and anyway, so the Herald reviewed the play, and they called us horrendous, because we were. But so I come running into the theater, and I was just nobody, and I have a copy of the Miami Herald, and all the real at that time, I wasn't an actor. I'm an actor and a comedian, which means I'm a bartender. Anyway, I come running in the theater, like, with the review, and I go, "We're horrendous." And all the actors are like, "Oh my God, who are you?" Because I was good. And I go, "Hey, they reviewed us. We're horrendous. That's a good thing." The theater was packed every night after that, because everybody wanted to come and see what the horrendous part
what
was.
was so
What was so horrendous? We had frontal nudity and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah, I mean,
Mikey,
that's
we're getting to that time where we have to wrap it up.
so
But listen,
so
let's talk about Mike's Madness again. Give us the whole breakdown again, so our viewers can watch you and listen to you. And
okay. Mike's Madhouse, you got to tune in. I got classic rock, I got crazy talk, I got shout outs, I got dedications, I got wacky requests. So we got contests, we got prizes, we got everything. We got bar girls, we've got lady boys,
coming.
we got it all right in the studio, on the air, on the radio, on bkk1radio.com every Tuesday at 1 p.m. You can tune in. You're gonna get classic rock and crazy talk and more of what you just had. I just had with Bob. You're gonna get with me on Mike's Madhouse.
Yay, Mike! Michael Sandoval.
Tuesdays at 1 o'clock. Tuesdays at 1 p.m.
I'm so proud of you.
And
dude.
of course, Bob Dean is on the air when?
Thursdays at 12 noon Pacific Standard Time in the good old US of A.
Yes.
On LA Talk Radio.
On LA Talk Radio.
Yay.
So you got to tune into that, and don't miss the Bob Dean Show.
You are look at you going on and on. You're a friggin' natural, man.
I'm so excited. I'm so happy to be on the Bob Dean Show. I'm so happy to promote Mike's Madhouse. I'm so happy to be playing music and entertaining people on bkk1radio.com. It's just it's more than I ever imagined. I didn't plan on this. I never planned to come to Thailand to have such a great time. I mean, I knew I was gonna have a great time, but I didn't know I was gonna have this.
This is why I'm so proud of you, dude. Because when Dennis and I sat with you at Felipe's French Dip, and I thought, oh my God, Mike's going to be telling us and showing us pictures. I didn't think like that, but I'm like, he was there for a while, so he's probably going to have a lot of pictures. And when you sat down, we were there for what, 3 hours, and you were just flowing with such a good energy about it, and that's what got us excited about it. And you're blossoming even more than damn. You know what you're missing in LA?
What am I missing? Nothing. You know, my daughter came to visit in September. My daughter came to visit Gibran. Hi, Gibran. And she posted on her Facebook, she said to all her friends, she said, "You will accidentally love it here."
Perfect. That's what everybody says. Damn, man.
And it's truth. It's the truth. So I can't wait for you to come out. I can't wait for you to come out. You and Dennis come out for vacation. We're gonna have a great time. We're gonna go see all the shows. We're gonna do everything. You're gonna come on Mike's Madhouse.
Yay.
And,
Can I come as a lady boy?
What's that?
Can I come as a lady boy?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
I love you, Sandoval. And,
Hey, it's great.
We'll do this again.
It's great to be on your show. Thank you so much for letting me come on. And
thank you for being my guest star.
And you're gonna send in some clips. I'll let you know what I'm looking for, and you're gonna go out and you're gonna be my man in LA, my man on the street, Bob Dean, my Bob on the street. He'll be my Bob on the street, and
I'll be bobbing on the street.
You'll be bobbing on the street from LA, and I'll play your clip every show. I'll have it's bobbing on the street, and we'll play your rant.
Oh my
Sounds
God.
good.
All right, Michael.
Sounds good.
Take
All right,
care of
Bob.
yourself right now. What time is it there? 3 a.m.
Yeah, it's almost 4 a.m.
All right. Well, get some sleep.
I'm gonna get some sleep and then start all over again tomorrow.
All right, baby. I love you. Love
All right,
your
babe.
daughter and everybody. And good Michael Sandoval. Thank you. Thank you, Sam.
Thank you, Bob.
And thank you all for viewing the
Thanks,
Bob Dean
Sam.
Show on LA Talk Radio, 12 noon on Thursdays. And please feel free to. I was going to try and think of something clever to wrap it up with, but I just didn't do it. Thanks, guys.
All right. Have a
Have
good
a
one.
nice day. Thanks, Sam. Bye.
You're listening to The Bob Dean Show, only on LA Talk Radio.